Hey, Walter Sorrells back with more tips for the knife maker. Today, reviewing this, the Vevor Digital Ultrasonic Cleaner. For those who don't know, an ultrasonic cleaner is a little gizmo that uses sound waves to clean things. Now, they're commonly used to clean auto parts, machine parts, even jewelry, false teeth, just all kinds of stuff. Now, I'm a knife maker, so I wanted to know if an ultrasonic cleaner was going to be useful for me. So does that mean there's not going to be any information for you here if you're going to be using something like this for other purposes? Not at all. Now, as is always the case with my reviews, I don't accept any payment for reviewing the products. However, in this case, Vevor sent the cleaner to me at no cost, so take that for what it's worth. Also, if you buy one, there's a little link in the cards and description that you can save a few bucks, and the channel's going to get a little piece of that if you order that way. So again, take that all for whatever it's worth. So the way that an ultrasonic cleaner works is that you immerse whatever it is that you're trying to clean up in a solution. It could be water, could be detergent or soap, could be solvent, and then the cleaner just blasts whatever it is that you're trying to clean with high frequency sound waves that just sort of vibrate the crud free. There's some physics to it that uses cool words like cavitation, but we're not going to get into that. Let's start by talking about the machine itself. The online store Vevor sells a ton of different models of this basic cleaner, with the difference mainly being size and capacity. I chose the larger 22-liter model, which lists at $248, but they have 9 variants of this basic design running all the way down to less than a liter in capacity, presumably for jewelry and that sort of thing. The prices go down with size, so the range runs all the way down to $40 for the smallest model. All the models run on 110 voltage, have a stainless steel tank and a stainless steel basket that allows you to put items in the tank, then dredge them out without having to reach in with your hands or grab them with pliers or something like that. Mine's about 20 inches long and, as I said, has a capacity of 22 liters or about 5 gallons, though you don't actually need or want to put quite that much in for most cleaning jobs. There's also a convenient drain and a piece of hose, which, doesn't fit the drain at all. A trip to the hardware store will get you a hose that actually mates with the little faucet there. Super simple to use. Pour in solution at least 3 inches deep or it'll mess up the machine apparently. And the want to hear the most annoying noise in the world noise starts. Yeah, it's pretty loud, pretty awful. There are also a set of controls for heating the liquid, and that's about it. Quick plug here. If you've enjoyed my tutorials, my reviews, how-to videos, all that stuff for the past 15 years, and you'd like to help out the channel, there is a way. It's called Patreon, and if you help out the channel, I'll help you out by hooking you up with plans to many of the zillions of knife and tool builds that I've done over the years here. So it's patreon.com/Walter Sorrells. Link in the cards and description. All right, now back to our review. So how well does the Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner work? Well, I tried a variety of parts cleaning general crud and dirt, oily crud, rust, and I even cleaned a few pairs of eyeglasses. What can I say? Pretty much worked out as advertised. You put stuff in, a few minutes later, comes out relatively clean. Or in the case of this Japanese sword guard, rust-free. And it gets you there without abrasives or scratching that can mess up the surface of whatever you're cleaning. I'm not going to go through each and everything I tested or how I tested them. There are tons of videos on YouTube about how to get the most out of these kinds of machines. But suffice it to say that you'll need to dial in the cleaning regimen for your particular application. Bottom line, you could save yourself a lot of time scrubbing things with brushes and caustic liquids and gloves and all that. All you got to do is plop them in, turn it on, go in another room far from the horrible noise, come back, fish them out, rinse them, done. One caveat, speaking of the noise, I found that the noise the machine makes was really objectionable. I don't just mean annoying, it kind of hurt. There's a lot of conflicting information online about the extent to which ultrasound does or doesn't mess with your hearing. I would highly recommend wearing hearing protection or nesting the machine in a soundproof box if you're going to use it much. One last point, these things work better, especially on oily parts, when the liquid in the tank is heated. Now, I found that it takes a couple hours to get it fully up to temperature when you have it slap full of water, which leads me to make this point. These machines are, to me at least, pretty reasonably priced, and so you might think, oh, well, I'll just get the absolute biggest one because, hey, you never know, right? Well, while that's true, you do never know. If you don't really think you need the big one, I'd go a little smaller. Takes up less real estate, less water, less soap or detergent or solvent or whatever you're using. And my guess, and this is just a guess, is that the smaller ones will heat up your solution a little faster. So that's not really a criticism. I'm just saying they have a bunch of different models that are almost identical except for size, so why not get the one that exactly meets your needs? In my case, this was a little bigger than I needed it. Now, let's turn to the specific application that I'm interested in. I make knives. Now, one of the deals with knives is that you have to do a lot of dirty, oily, grimy operations with them. And in my case, I finish my Tactics Armory knives by tumbling them to give them a sort of matte finish. And that results in this residue of abrasives and just general crud that's down there in the tumbler, and that stuff sticks to the blades and you got to get it off. In the past, that meant a good bit of scrubbing with a brush. Now, personally, I'd rather drill holes in my head than clean things, so I absolutely jumped at the chance to try this out. I tried out various solutions, including simple green, plain water, a bunch of other stuff. The soaps work much better than straight water, but they all do work. And as long as you leave the stuff in long enough, you can basically just pull it out and rinse it off in a stream of water, and you got a blade that's clean enough to assemble and ship. Fantastic. Again, this would be useful for polishing residue from honing. I mean, there are just a bunch of things that you might end up with on your blades and want to get rid of, and this will do a good job of it. I will say, I had this distant hope I might be able to get heat treating scale off with this machine. Yeah, no, not happening. I didn't really think it would, but still, had to try. So let's wrap up. The cleaner works. It'll save you a lot of scrubbing and rub-a-dub-dubbing on just all kinds of stuff, a whole variety of materials, depending on the solution you use, the time that you leave it in there. It'll clean carbon, dirt, rust, oily residues, all kinds of stuff off a variety of surfaces and parts. It'll get inside holes, crevices, all kinds of places that maybe you can't really reach with a brush or that are a little complicated to get to if you're scrubbing something by hand. And it'll do all of that while you're getting other work, or as I like to call it, real work, done. Now, I know some people love cleaning things, but I am not that guy. Like I said, there's one of these for every task. If I were you, I would use, a pair of these. But otherwise, really, it's an excellent piece of equipment, and I think one that probably is a little underestimated that you're gonna find uses for that maybe you didn't expect. I know I have. All right, there's a link in the description that will save you a few bucks and help out the channel at the same time. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe and make sure that you click on that bell so you get notified of all the latest videos. Want to buy a knife from me? Check out my modern blades at tacticsarmory.com. Digging the channel? You can support our video making efforts on Patreon. I've been banging away on these videos for like 10 years, so I hope you'll show some love for all that hard work. Link in the cards and descriptions. Finally, if you're interested in making Japanese swords, check out my full line of Japanese sword videos where I show how to forge Japanese swords as well as how to polish them and how to make fittings, handles, and scabbards. WalterSorrellsBlades.com.